Folks, more and more offers are falling apart. I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending July the 5th, 2023. More and more offers are not coming together. Buyer puts in an offer, seller counter offers, it goes back and forth, no deal. They can't reach an agreement, no deal, move on. We're seeing more and more of that. Now, since the beginning of time, sellers want as much as possible for their home. Buyers want to pay as little as possible for their home. That's nothing new. It's always been like that. However, even though a seller wants as much as possible, there's been many times where they have a handle on or an understanding of what's realistic. And same with the buyer. Even though they want to pay as little as possible, they do have a handle in most cases on what's realistic. That word realistic these days, it's a little bit confusing. It's much more difficult to understand what's realistic these days, and that's where the disconnect is today between a seller and a buyer. And that's why they're not, and many times we're seeing more and more of them not reaching a conclusion. Look, I get any property we go see with our buyer, I get the emails of and the notices of there's an offer, there's an offer, there's an offer. I receive lots of these every day, all day long. And that's how I can see more and more of these are not coming together because that property remains on the market. Then a few days later, a week later, a month later, there's another offer, so it never sold the first time. We're seeing this more and more. What's the price? What price is going to make sense? That's what sellers and buyers are having a hard time with today, more so than in the past. Sellers have seen their neighbor's home selling for this price. That could have been just a few months ago, and now sellers are listed at a lower price. They're not getting it. Buyers are looking at their affordability. They're looking at what are their potential mortgage payments, and they know, or they're pretty confident that interest rates are probably going to go up some more. So they're looking at that and they're thinking, well, if the market is softening and it's going to cost me more, why should I pay more? So they're offering a bit less. Sellers want a little bit more because of recent sales. Buyers want to pay less because it's going to cost them more. There really is an uncertainty of where the realistic price should be. And it's always a bit of a moving target because of that's how real estate prices work. That's what we're seeing today. My suggestion is work with somebody, work with a realtor that has a really good handle on picking a price that makes sense, whether you're a seller or whether you're a buyer. Now, as a seller or buyer, it's still your prerogative what you want to sell for or what you want to pay for that property. But you should still know what makes sense, what's realistic, and then you can figure out what price makes sense for you. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about here, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description is a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the York Region numbers. You're looking for a luxurious multifamily home? Check out the video at the end of this video. So I already said that more and more offers are not being accepted. You know, sellers are starting to lose the upper hand. Sellers in many areas across York Region no longer have the advantage. Let's get into the numbers. You'll see what I mean. I have here for Vaughan, detached properties only, broken down by week for a whole year. For week ending July the 5th, 22 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. And both those numbers, the sales and the amount selling at $2 million, those Those are way down from the previous week. Average sold price is way down to 1,682,000. That's a huge drop from the previous week. Is it because of the long weekend? Because for week ending July 5th, we had a long weekend right in the middle of that. And we know, we see it all the time. Long weekends, holidays, sales, prices tend to be a little bit skewy. And because of that, I'm wondering, is it because of the long weekend, or is it because of the last interest rate hike that we had, or is it because of the pending, possibly interest rate hike? By the time you see this, actually, we're going to have that announced. But when I'm filming this, it's not yet quite announced. So what's happening? Are buyers just kind of waiting to see what happens with prices? Well, because of that, for this week, average sold price came way down to 1,682,000. 1,682,000 is still 8% higher than where we were this time last year. The median price is 16% higher than this time a year ago. And looking at the dotted line, which is a 4-week moving average, because of these peaks and valleys, and it's kind of tough to say which way it's going. It looks like prices are kind of flat, but if we look, we get rid of maybe this really high one here that's kind of abnormal. It looks like average prices and median prices are trending down. It's actually pretty evident there. Of the 22 that sold, now again, only 22, 55% sold at list price or more. 86 were listed, so fewer sales. Listings did go up, and active listings has been climbing week after week. So sales are way down. The amount of properties available for sale is up. What do you think's happening with months of inventory? If you said it's climbing, you're right. Months of inventory sitting at 3.3, and as months of inventory climb, average sold price tends to drop. You could look at it from here. You could go back to this side and draw a straight line. Prices are trending down. Months of inventory is trending up. We're now sitting in a balanced market type of situation here. Here's Richmond Hill. Now, Richmond Hill didn't get the memo that sales are supposed to be down, average sold price is supposed to be down. Richmond Hill is doing its own thing. Sales have been trending up the last few weeks. 24 detached properties were sold. 8 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price climbed up a bit from the previous week, sitting at $1,994,000. Sorry, my voice cracked when I was saying that. That's just shy of $2 million, the average sold price. 1,994 is 8% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price is 17% higher than where we were a year ago. Prices, average sold price for the last month and a half, 2 months is quite steady across Richmond Hill. Median price looks like it could be trending up, actually. The amount of properties selling at list price or more, however, in Richmond Hill has been trending down. We're now sitting at 46%. Active listing still trending up, and months of inventory coming down. It's sitting at 2.5 months of inventory. We knew that the 4.2 was a crazy number. 3 made a little bit more sense. 2.5 kind of lines up to the high before the crazy time here. So is it still trending up? Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see what's happening with months of inventory, but it is high at 2.5, even though it's down from the previous week. So here is Markham. 23 detached properties were sold, way down from the previous couple of weeks. 6 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price climbed up to $1,835,000. 1,835 is 12% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price is 7% higher than where we were same time last year. Average sold price and median price trending down, far more predominant in average sold price. Of the 23 that sold, 61% sold at list price or more. We, for the longest time, were in the high 70s to 80% selling at list price or more. The last couple of weeks, 59 and 61. much slower than what we're used to in Markham. 51 were listed, so listings are coming way down. Active listing is trending up, but a little bit flat over the last few weeks. Months of inventory, we were at 0.6, 0.7, then we're at 2, now we're sitting at 2.1 months of inventory for Markham. This is condos for all of York region. Sales way down. 27 condos were sold. None of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price, $724,000. 724 is 5% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price is higher than the average sold price. The median price is $735. Prices, average sold price, median price, it's almost a straight line, pretty steady over the last 2.5, 3 months. Of the 27 that sold, little over half, 52% sold at list price or more. Listings, pretty steady, 112, 120 the previous week, 123, 117, 112, 116. Pretty much the same thing for the last 2 months as far as listings go, but active listings has been increasing. That's because sales have been trending down. Look at months of inventory. We were a little over 1 month of inventory. Then we shot up to 1.9. Now we're sitting at 3.9 months of inventory. Now keep in mind, this could be, and most likely, just because of the sales over the long weekend, sales dropped way down. And the math is based on, this is what we're selling this week. We project that that's how it's going to stay for a month. How quickly are we going to eat up the inventory we have? And because sales were so low, months of inventory shoot way up. We're sitting at 3.9. Here's a quick summary. In most cases, maybe not so much in Markham, but we're right approaching balanced market in Markham. We are definitely in a balanced market in many of the other areas here. And this is the new reality. This is the new market. We are getting away from, and in many cases, we have left the situation where sellers have the advantage. It's starting to be more of a balanced market. I'm not going to go so far to say that buyers have the advantage. Buyers have their obstacles also with the increased rates and affordability. But more of a balanced market does make more sense. And that's the kind of market that I think most people hope for, a balanced market. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Welcome to 4027 Bloor Street West in Etobicoke. Before I show you the inside of this home, let me tell you what makes it so unique. It has in all 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each room has its own individual climate control. These are all luxury features you would expect from a custom-built home. But what really stands out in this home is that it was designed from the very beginning for 2 families to live separate and independent of each other, both above grade. Let me start by showing you the principal residence. So this is the principal residence. Including the finished basement, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, about 3,000 square feet. So here's the finished basement. It has 10-foot ceilings, an entertainment area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a private walk-up to the backyard. So this is the private, self-contained, luxurious secondary suite with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look.